I'm ready whenever you are.
We're ready. We're rolling. We're rocking. So,
Good morning, Crypto Cody.
good morning. So, this has been a crazy week for
It
sure.
has, especially for you in Lewiston, Maine.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I am
Prayers
like,
go out to the families
yeah, I appreciate it,
and the
man.
community, definitely.
Yeah. It's definitely not been fun. It's for those of you who are not, or if, yeah, for those of you who don't know, I live in Lewiston, Maine. So, obviously, uh, we've had quite the tragedy with a lot of our friends and family out here. And I mean, literally, too, actually. Yeah, I guess before getting into it, I just paying it, you know, a quick little tribute to some of our friends. We actually, um, yeah, we have a lot of friends that actually lost their family during that thing. I mean, 18 people that died,
Wow, it's
and
just
yeah, it's kind of surreal. It's like,
horrible.
well, it's a really weird feeling because, I mean, we've watched all these different shootings, whether they be high school shootings or elementary school shootings or there was that one bar in Florida shooting. There was that
Yeah,
massacre. I mean, there's all these different shootings, and it's a surreal feeling when you're actually like when your community is a part of that. Like but I there's so many angles that you can come at from this, but I think for right now, it's just I mean, we got church today that we're going to be going to, so I think it's going to be very different today. Going to church, talking to everybody.
yes.
I think some people are probably still having a hard time even wanting to be in a crowd of people right now. But so yeah, but I mean he's been found and he's dead. So
Yeah,
it's interesting where he was found. He was actually found in a trailer on a job site from a place that I believe the word on the street is that he got fired from.
really.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it was a redemption center or some kind of junkyard place or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
I
he
mean,
basically like word on the streets is that he was allegedly he was fired from this place. And the way that I see this, and this is, I think this is not even necessarily speculation. I think this is pretty obvious, but I'm pretty sure that he just had beef with certain people at Schmangi's and that that one place that
bowling
um
alley.
yeah, the bowling alley spare time. And I think he had very specific targets, and I hate to say it, but I think that he might have gotten the targets that he was looking for, and then I think he wanted to just go and commit suicide at the place that he was allegedly fired from, just to kind of throw that at his former boss and just be like, "This is your fault. I'm dead." Just like the final, punch or whatever. That's my assumption,
Yeah,
because that's
who
the way it
knows?
looks.
Right.
But it's just
This,
one
I
big
mean, there's so
vendetta.
many, you never really know. Just, I'm just grateful that it's over.
Yeah,
He's
same.
he's
But
not out there anymore.
well, and dude, it's just he had so much power over like the fear of people. That's the one thing that like I mean, Mainers, dude, we're pretty strong. New Englanders are strong. You're strong. I mean, dude, like you're like it's a ballsy thing for anybody to like try to shoot up any place in New England, you know, be Maine, New Hampshire, or anywhere in the area of New England because people are packing guns. It's just unfortunate that it would seem that nobody was carrying at the time over there at any
Right.
of these other places. But anyways, yeah. So I appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers because this has definitely not been fun for us. And also, I don't know if you heard. I know this is we're not even talking about crypto at the moment, but it's just interesting. Chandler died from Friends.
Yes, I heard that last night.
Yeah,
He was found in his
Mr.
hot tub.
Mr. Perry. Yeah. Oh, it's
So
awful,
that's
man.
that's just horrible.
Yeah, it is, and that's obviously very sad.
54.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
so just a lot of tragedy this past week, man. Like
There
that's
has
really
been.
just a lot of tragedy. Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
Um, but not to underplay that, but just kind of transitioning over to crypto, I guess, because this has actually been rather a good week for
Yes, I was
cryptocurrency
going to
on a
say.
positive
So,
note.
yes, very good week it was for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so I was actually going to ask you because we were talking earlier before we started this about Bitcoin, but what I was more curious about that you were looking into the charts of the total market cap. and I was curious if you wanted to take a look at that and show
Sure.
us what it is that you're thinking about that.
Yeah, it was. I just decided to do a search this morning on it, but I haven't really found a chart. But I haven't really looked for a chart.
Well,
So,
let's hit up Bitcoin really quick
all right.
because that's
So,
obviously been taken off. And
all
then
right.
we have some questions that I want to talk about after this.
So here's the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and look at this last week's close. You know, it was like a 32 and change, but look at that wick.
Holy crap. Yeah. That thing just like,
So, and that's the weekly chart. So, and to me, there's nothing between here and here for really strong resistance on the weekly chart. You know, then I look at this is the daily chart. So look what's going on up here at the daily chart. If I go ahead and just go to the I'll just do the 4 hour, right? Look how it's consolidating up here around 34,000. So that's, to me, is like it's trying to make 34,000 support. You know, right now it's riding along on the 4 hour chart, the 20-day moving average. But I'm I'm looking at this is pretty promising with the 8 hour chart. Uh I really would like to see this 33,500 turn into a support. And that's what to me is what it's doing. And maybe ride this, go sideways between 33,500 and just call it 35,000 and just make a tight channel there until the it builds up more strength to go up higher.
yeah, it does look really, to me, that looks really healthy. So
So and then I was like looking at the Bitcoin dominance, and it's now, you know, up around 54%, and it's still going up. I mean, that's rising too. So I really, you know, just looking at past history and basing things off of that, I think this might still go up a little more, but it's short-lived. Bitcoin's doing its last push for dominance because, like always, you know, rising water rises all ships. Bitcoin has been on a tear lately, so the altcoins always, you know, lag behind. So we'll have to see how long this stays like this. But I think the dominance is going to, you know, start turning around, going the other direction here with the altcoins catching up and the bull market really ramping up.
it does
And
make me wonder, like, when do you think altcoin season is going to
I think
happen?
altcoin season is going to start. I mean, in general, we can start seeing some real good movements, I would say, you know, probably beginning of next year, maybe uh I think altcoin is going to catch up to Bitcoin a little bit before the halving, and then I think after the halving, um, it's really going to take off. But I could see altcoin starting to make gains on the Bitcoin dominance. You know, probably February, March timeframe of next year.
Yeah,
And remember,
that's what I
I'm
was
not a
wondering.
financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
my opinions. But I this
Neither one
is
of us.
the chart, Bitcoin Ethereum chart, and you can see Bitcoin's still gaining on Ethereum, but because Ethereum had a little bump up to around 1800, but it stayed. Bitcoin is just, you know, dominating the market right now. And I mean,
And
I'm reading
it
articles.
needs
It
to
does.
before like
Oh yeah,
altcoin season actually takes place anyways.
right. You know, so
Because
but this is one of my, you know, this chart is just I really like the way Bitcoin's setting up. So could we go back down and test I'm trying to find, you know, could we go back down and test 31,000? I think that's very possible. You know, on the daily chart, uh, you know, that 31,000 area that was resistance, I think we could come back down and test that. I won't be surprised to see it might just be a quick drop, quick wick, but right now I have some price. I have a, you know, buy order in the 31,000 range. I did have it lower, but I don't think it's going to go back down to 25,000 anytime soon. So
yeah,
yeah, so that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin right now. I'm really liking the way it's looking. remember, we're probably in that time where it's time that you're just looking for the dips and buy the dips, because we're definitely starting this nice, rise up in price. So just wait till it, you don't want to buy it right now when it's hanging around 34,000, because it's really going to, I think it'll dip down to at least 30, 32, 33, somewhere in there. But, wait for a dip, wait for a couple of days of red, buy in the red.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's what I got for Bitcoin.
Nice.
As for total market cap, we're like at 1.3 trillion now. So that's steadily going up. And of course, Bitcoin's, leading that charge. But yeah, you see it. Ethereum's hanging around 1,800 now.
Yeah.
So
I know it's yeah, the numbers have been awesome as far
they
as
have.
just this past week has been really exciting. I am just curious though, like is there an actual alt chart, or is there a way to look up
Let me see.
because I was actually curious if there was a way to look up like even coin market cap, if that's even a thing. Like the overall crypto market cap.
Yeah, I don't know. Here. Let me search that and see if
Yeah. In the meantime, there's a really interesting article that I've been able to pull up over here that we should actually dive into here. Hold on one second. So we have. So this is the big question. This is the title. Oh, you found one.
total market cap.
All right, dude, look it up. I wanna check
All
that.
right.
Yeah, share your screen again because I'm curious about that.
I will. I'm just trying to get it. Trying to fix my chart.
Yeah, and then I have the big question because there was an article that came out that I was really wanting to look up, talking about XRP and BTC, or XRP versus BTC.
Cool. All right, so I got my chart the way I want it, kind of. Yeah, so I found this just market capitalization, total market cap, and look at this. So I mean,
Holy
we did
crap! Look at that.
peak up at like 3 trillion during the last bull market. That was really the week of the first week in November, pretty much November 8th of 2021. So now you can see, I mean, this is the weekly chart. So this is kind of like 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion has been resistance on the market cap side. This is the weekly chart. But I think once it breaks through that, we're going to see 2 trillion pretty quickly. So I'm just going to change and look at the day chart. And you see, let me get this. So this is the daily chart. And you can see it's breaking above probably what was this 1 trillion resistance. I mean, we dipped below it a little bit. So, but now we're consolidating up here around 1.2 trillion. So with that consolidation, I think if we consolidate there, really, I mean, this was what goes up, what goes down quickly tends to have little resistance on the way back up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There's not much resistance probably in this area from, where we're at right now, 1.2, 1.3 trillion to, 2 trillion. There's not much resistance. So we could see the market cap probably double pretty quickly. And who knows if that happens before the halving, which I think there's a good chance it could. We're going to see, I'm nervous and scared in a sense, because I feel like this next bull market, we could see a market cap that none of us are even thinking about.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Like size wise, I mean, I'm thinking, what did I say? It was like maybe 6 to 8 trillion, somewhere in there. I'm seeing a lot of stuff talk out there, 10 trillion. I found this, look at this. I found this one right here that's showing global crypto market cap between 2022 and 2027, a staggering 32.4 trillion by 2027. I mean, that blows my mind. 4 trillion, and with the, the base in that with compound annual growth rate, 58.4%. So that's like huge. That's a 30x from what the market is right now.
Holy
So
crap. Yeah.
so I think, I'm sure they're taking in consideration. I mean, this is a high one, a high, prediction, but I've seen a lot around 10 trillion. But I think with all these ETFs that are going to happen, all this corporations and banking and the big banks, all that industry, there's trillions of dollars is going to go into this market because they know it's here and they, of course, want to control it. So this is where the big money is getting in this bull run. And then the next bull run will be where it's going to be the mass adoption, where everybody else is now getting in because big money got in and they got what they want. They got their chunk, they're controlling interest. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm afraid and scared and nervous and excited that who knows, could we see a $25 trillion market cap at the top of this bull market?
I mean, that would be insane if it actually jumped
Right?
to that. I mean, that would just be insane. That would be
It would.
crazy. I can't even imagine a $25 trillion market cap. Like it like early, I mean, I can imagine it gradually working its way up, but early,
or
I
go
mean,
between the 10 trillion and the 32 trillion, right? So that would be, uh probably roughly like a $20 trillion market cap.
yeah, that's crazy.
21
If
trillion. That's my new number, 21 trillion.
dude. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right?
I mean,
So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what does that make BTC? That would make BTC
who knows?
I mean, well, it's
Right?
dominance. Let's talk about its dominance right now. It's like, is it 60%?
Its dominance right now is like 54, 50. Yeah, it's like
So
right at 54%.
54%.
But remember, what's going to drive this? I think in the beginning of this next bull market, we're going to see Bitcoin, the driving force. We're going to see Bitcoin. I think once it gets past its all-time high, we're going to see, $100,000 Bitcoin quickly, I think, with all
Oh, I
this
agree,
money
but
getting
like
into it. So then afterwards, the altcoin is what's really going to drive it. So I think if we have a $20 trillion market cap, Bitcoin's market cap to me would have to be,
well, what is it? Right?
know,
It's basic. It would basically have to jump. I mean, that would
so,
be a
so here, let's look at
multi-$100,000 coin.
this is January of 2018, right?
Yeah.
So just the peak of the bull market,
Well, what
right?
was the price of BTC when it was?
It
Yeah.
was like,
What was
remember,
that?
it hit 20,000 or right there. So, and at that point, its all time high, its market cap was down to 36%. You can see where I have this. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me
Right.
share
So
my
if you had
screen.
30, yeah. So if you had 36% dominance,
Here, I'll show
yeah. I
you
mean, now you're
the
looking at
visual.
BTCs. Now
Right.
BTC is.
So here we are, right
Yep.
here in 20, right there. That's the
Yep.
bottom. That's the peak of the bull market in 2017. We're at like 35%, 36% dominance, right? And Bitcoin was at its all-time high.
Right.
So that means, the altcoins just, there's so much more money went into altcoins because they're more speculative, more risky. People are trying to hit it big with the meme coins and everything else. But again, rising waters raises all ships. It's just the altcoins go a lot higher. Because here we are in so here's November. This is right here, January of 2022, or September of 2022. It bounced around, but it's went between like 40 and 44%.
So okay. So
So it actually
let's
had a larger part of the market
what
cap.
so okay. So Bitcoin was a $1 trillion market cap
And we had
back in
3 trillion. So if we take 33% of 20 trillion, so
I did 21.
Bitcoin's market cap will be like 6 to 7 trillion if we're at a 20
It would
trillion
have to
dollar.
yeah, it'd be a 6x market
Or
cap.
or it could be even a 5 trillion, just say it was
But that
5 trillion.
basically, with my calculator right here, it's showing me that that's roughly around 384,000 BTC. That's like based off of your number 21. If you did
Right.
21 divided by 30%, okay? So 21
Yeah.
divided by 30% of BTC is going to put you at a 6x roughly, which is, with a Bitcoin market cap of $1,000. I'm sorry, with a Bitcoin market cap of $1 trillion, it's a 6x, assuming that the market cap as a whole goes to 21 trillion. That's a 6x for BTC, which puts it roughly around $384,000,
Wow. Huh.
which is
Well,
insane.
since I'm still sharing, we're just going to go right here. And I mean, in 2029, they say Bitcoin should be 305,000.
Right. So there's your $21,000 market cap.
Right. In 2029.
So, but that's what that means.
I think I think it's going to get sped up though.
Yeah.
Like I say, my number here in 2025 is 207,000.
Well, you think, yeah, those are always, yeah,
and they're
these
up
are
to
always
170 cents. Yeah. I mean, the yearly low is 73. So the yearly
actually,
low
hold on a second. Wait a minute. 2024, they think BTC is going over 100,000.
Look at that, right?
Wow. I'm more conservative than them. What's the matter? What's going on here?
So even the low of 2025 is higher than the all-time high.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, that is really interesting. So yeah, we'll see. So much excitement going on. It's funny too. I always know. I always feel like I know when people are getting back into Bitcoin is when I start having friends that I haven't talked to about Bitcoin are reaching out, or people that are not really ever been into crypto ever, and they start reaching out and talking about it. They're like, "Hey, so question about Bitcoin," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, here it comes. This is
what
the
is
next
it all
bull
about?"
It's happening. Yeah,
it's happening. It's right.
Yeah,
get on board.
But I've had a lot of people reach out about it. I'm like, yeah, that's when you know things are happening.
Yes, you
do.
do.
Anyways, so all right, let's dive into some of the news. One of the questions that I wanted to talk about today, which is obviously the actual title of this video, so I'm sorry if people have been watching being like, get to the point. I'm like wanting to see.
I know. Well, I kind of went on a tangent with Bitcoin.
But that's okay because we're all things crypto here.
That's right.
So this article, I'm going to pull it up and then we can talk about it. But there is an article that came out that talked about the idea of XRP potentially being or outperforming Bitcoin. And I think this is a really interesting question. And
it is.
Two completely different use cases, by the way. I mean,
so what did ChatGPT say?
Yes, exactly. And for those of you who don't know what ChatGPT is, let me just bring this up because I happen to have it right here. It says, what is GPT and why does it matter? Here's what you need to know. ChatGPT is a natural language processing tool driven by AI technology that allows you to have human-like conversations and much more with the chatbot. The language model can answer questions and assist you with tasks such as composing emails, essays, and code. So kind of an interesting thing. There's been a lot of conversation and talk about artificial intelligence and its relevance to so many things, including now the question, drum roll,
is XRP.
Yes. We asked the Chat GPT if XRP will outperform BTC in 2024. And of course, so it says right, oh, what happened to it? I just lost it. Sorry.
Top right. When you had all those windows open.
There we go. Okay, Of course, BTC has always been the lead in number one coin by means of total market capitalization. And to this day, the gap seems tremendous, but it doesn't necessarily mean that other cryptocurrencies can't outperform it over a certain period of time. And actually, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a time when XRP actually did make it to number 2.
Yes.
And outperformed Ethereum. And I don't know if people remember that, but that actually happened. And it was at that time that the CEO or chairman of Ripple became, I believe, the richest man in the world for a hot second.
Yes, that's right.
Which that was insane. Everybody was just like, holy crap, what is going on right now?
Right.
So, but anyways, most recent BTC price has soared basically on the ETF approval hype, and just trying to get to the point here. Okay. Heated question: will BTC outperform XRP? The AI-based chatbot provided some interesting insight, arguing that there are multiple factors that take into account. Okay, regulatory development seems to be the top list. There's a lot going on. For both coins, there are multiple filling spots, BT ETF, which that's a big deal. On the other hand, Ripple continues to scoring win after win in case arguments of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commissions. The trial is set April 2024. Oh, that's interesting. There is actually a trial. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
there
thought
still
that
is
got,
one.
yeah, I thought that got
It
basically
might have, but
thrown in the
maybe.
trash. But it will likely have a massive impact on the price of XRP. Fewer factors and accounts, blah, blah, blah. Has established dominance in providing its often seems to score value of digital gold. Its price is less influenced and its utility as a current and more by the okay, I'm just trying to get to the point here. So there's just like this one big argument and thought on it. And the other hand, Ripple is okay, that is that. Okay, so I don't even know if it really even gave us an answer, to be honest.
Huh. So I'll give you my answer.
Yeah, I know. I have an answer too. I was just curious if this is just more of a conversation on comparing the two.
So
But
they're just saying in 2024, right? So
well,
um,
the case of
which one will perform better? So pretty much which one would
yeah,
have
it's
had
wondering if it'll
better
outperform.
gains.
So now that I think about it, that's not necessarily a question of will it have a larger market cap. It's
Right.
more so will it
So
actually
maybe
outperform in
Ripple
multiple
goes from
X's
55 cents, you know, and say it
to like
goes to a dollar.
$5.
Oh, just in 2024. Say it goes to $2,
I
right?
mean, it went to $3
Yeah, I
in
think it was three
60
dollars and forty
cents.
cents. So do you think it
So
would make it to its all-time high next year?
do I think that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if we're in the clear on everything, I think that there's enough hype for it too.
So that would be a 6x pretty much. So
Right.
say Bitcoin goes to 100,000 this year, right?
Yeah,
That's a
that's not happening.
3x. So
Well, I mean, that's happening.
I think on that basis, Ripple has a better chance of outperforming Bitcoin.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah.
so, but right now I have orders to buy both. So I like
Yeah.
being
No,
diversified. But
I actually think that I'm actually kind of bullish on XRP as far as its outperformance of Bitcoin. If you frame the question that way, which I think that is how the question is being framed
was it framed?
originally. But as far as like passing the market cap of Bitcoin, I doubt it.
No, never.
I don't think that that's going to happen. And looking at
I don't think Bitcoin will ever be anything but number one
of
because
course.
it's the new store of value. It's the crypto gold. It's the crypto store of value.
Oh yeah, dude,
And then what's
absolutely.
crazy is there's several million Bitcoin lost forever. So really, out of the 19 million whatever that have been mined, there's probably only 14 million Bitcoins out there.
Oh yeah.
And most of the Bitcoin that's out there are in wallets, and there's only probably like 5% of Bitcoin circulating. That's what's getting traded. Everything else is in people's wallets.
So, I mean, we have as far as XRP goes, because this is XRP to Tether USDT.
That's fine.
So we're currently looking at. I actually think that if XRP remains above 48 cents, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. You
I
can
think if
see
we
where
go
it
below,
spiked up when it won its case.
yeah,
Right.
trying to make this a little bit more visible here. But my thought is like if it, it's staying pretty strong right now, and if it continues to stay strong, I
Just
mean,
put
we
your
just gotta,
cursor on the right column where the price is.
yeah,
and then you can scroll the price up or down, which makes the candle wicks bigger. Or
Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
yeah.
So
See, that makes that's what is it, a daily wicks?
yeah, these are daily wicks.
So it had the big spike up and then it went back down and tested. Now it's trying to go back up again. So we're at that 55 cents.
Yeah. I think we just got to stay above that.
I think it will. And
Just
I
stay
think
above
then
this 48 cents mark. If it goes below that, I think that's going to screw us back down to like 40. Geez, I could even take us back down to 37 cents.
I don't think
But
so though.
I think
I,
it's going to stay.
it'll probably stay in that area. And then I think it'll gonna do a consolidation there, around 63 to 65 cents.
Yeah. And the next
Right.
resistance, yeah, and
And then it's going to $1. Oh, you can look at it. I mean, look at it. Just it's climbing.
Yeah,
In that
definitely
view,
is.
it's making, higher highs and new higher lows all the way up. From what? It's
But once we get up to
bottomed
that,
in May or June, it's been,
right.
steadily
But
going up.
But once we get to that 74 to 78 cents level, that should be a good establishment.
Yeah. If it consolidates there, turns that into a support.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at most of the cryptos now, you're starting to see that. And so going with like when are the altcoins going to really go up? Well, some of them are already starting. There's altcoins that are popping all the time now, over
check out
100%
this
gain. Which
This
one's
is
that?
XRP against BTC.
Oh, so it's BTC is kicking its butt right now.
Oh yeah. But look at this little green candle right here.
Oh, look at that sneaking up on you.
Yeah, it is. Just curious on the weekly what that's possibly looking like. Oh boy.
So it's at a testing point right now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's
like, is Bitcoin gonna kick my ass, or are we?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think Bitcoin's having its day in the sun right now, definitely. And that day in the sun, could never go away. You never know. We got an ETF approved this year. They're saying by the end of this year or January.
Yeah, I think it's going to be January.
So when that happens, we're going to see a spike in the market.
Yep.
And then we're gonna have the halving.
Yeah.
4 months later. I'm just so excited.
Oh, dude, same. I know. I really don't think, it's funny too, because I gotta say, like, I remember when it's so weird. I remember where I was when you and I were talking about XRP going, they were being sued by the SEC. And it's just amazing to me that they've so strongly come through that whole process, winning case after case on that thing.
Right.
It's really, really like, that's a very, very credible thing to be saying.
Oh, and
yeah, we just
beat
the SEC, and it really does. It's
on
quite amazing, actually.
What crypto is and how they're not a security.
Right.
That was the whole thing. Right. The SEC is saying this is yeah. So
otherwise they'd be into some serious fraudulent, stupid crap. Which leads me to another thought: is this whole Sam Bankman-Fried thing is coming? It's closing in.
It is, and so I mean, I've read so they've recovered like up to 90% of the funds.
Right. Which is a massive, massive thing.
It is. So I mean, people are going to eventually get most of their money back.
Yeah.
So that's a good note. So,
right.
I would like to know how they found the money, or did they, how did they recover it? That would be interesting to know. Did the technology itself help on that recovery? Because everything is recorded in the ledger. So I'm thinking those questions. So is that, a case showing that, cryptocurrency is the new, way to go with the blockchain, because everything was recorded, and look, we were able to find and recover 90% of the funds for the customers.
Well, this is a quick little thing from CoinDesk that was released October 22nd. So take a listen to this for a second. Let me know if you can hear this at all. It's not coming through yet.
No, I do not.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it's not working. Well, that's fine. Yeah, it would. I'll just pull up the article so we can take a look at it. Yeah, it's interesting. So things are getting kind of heated as far as the trial stuff goes, because he was like blaming his
Didn't
his
he
ex-girlfriend.
testify?
Yeah, he did. He testified. He's blaming his ex-girlfriend.
Of course he is.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Actually, hold on a second. Now this is working.
Maybe it took a little bit.
Can you hear that?
I cannot.
Okay.
To try and bring it
I
on
hear
the
it.
next time we have you on the
Okay,
I
show.
can hear it. Yep.
Sounds good.
It's like a photograph.
All right. Renato, yesterday the jury was sent
Uh-oh.
You lost
home
it.
early.
Back.
As Sam Bankman-Fried took the stand, Judge Kaplan said that he hasn't done this in years. Were you surprised to see this happen? And why do you think the judge did this?
It is very, very surprising. I've been practicing criminal law for decades. I've tried many, many criminal trials and watched many others, and I've never seen testimony go on this long without the jury present. I think the reason the judge did
Okay, so he didn't have the jury present when he was testifying, for the
I
record.
wonder why.
I don't know. We'll see. Hold on.
it is actually something that you guys talked about a minute ago, which is SBF constantly talking about lawyers. So in criminal law, there is something called an advice of counsel defense. It's a very specific thing in the law. And you have to give notice beforehand, before the trial starts, to the government, to the prosecutors, and say that you are asserting it. And then you actually have to waive attorney-client privilege between yourself and the attorney. And what you have to prove in order to make out that defense is you have to make it clear and demonstrate that you have let those lawyers know about all the relevant facts and that they approved of or authorized all of the activity that you're charged with. As you can imagine, it is very rare for defendants to actually be able to, have testimony from lawyers that are going to establish that. And so they try to get around that by having what I'll call a quasi-advice of counsel defense. And that's really what SBF is trying to do here. He's basically saying, yeah, there was a bunch of lawyers running around and they were on the scenes and things like that. So I presume that they were taking care of this. I presume that they were on top of it and they were making sure it was legal. That's not an advice of counsel defense. And I think what the judge is trying to understand here is there enough here that goes to his state of mind, which is relevant, which is, something that would actually be helpful to the jury? Or
Oh, no. Did we lose it?
You did. Audio's gone.
Shit. Hold on. Oh, it's commercial.
Oh,
I'll throw that down for a second while so yeah, that's interesting. So he's actually blaming, or dude, he's coming at it from every angle he could possibly come at it from to actually.
yeah. Oh, definitely. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do this off the wall defense.
It's so crazy.
Right. It's my lawyers. I thought they were taking care of it. It's all
Right.
good. If I don't know, it's not my fault. I'm
Yeah.
just the CEO.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously.
That's just,
All right, hold on.
say that
I
you
just
are
hope it doesn't work.
asserting it, and then you actually have to waive attorney-client privilege between yourself and the attorney.
You hear
And
that
what
fine?
you have to prove in
Yeah,
order
I hear
to
it.
make out that defense is you have to make it clear and demonstrate that you have let those lawyers know about all the relevant facts and that they approved of or authorized all of the activity that you're charged with. As you can imagine, it is very rare for defendants to actually be able to, have testimony from lawyers that are going to establish that. And so they try to get around that by having what I'll call a quasi-advice of counsel defense. And that's really what SBF is trying to do here. He's basically saying, Yeah, there was a bunch of lawyers running around, and they were around on the scenes and things like that.
I rewound
So
it just a little bit.
I presume
Yeah.
that they were taking care of this. I presume that they were on top of it, and they were making sure it was legal. That's not an advice of counsel defense. And I think what the judge is trying to understand here is there enough here that goes to his state of mind, which is relevant, which is, something that would actually be helpful to the jury? Or is SBF and his team, are they really just trying to confuse the jury and to essentially try to confuse the issues? That's what I think the judge is trying to understand.
So the jury will never see any of this, right? Assuming that they didn't see Nick's photo, lifelike image there. Other than that, they will not
jury
see
won't see
any of
any
the
of that.
testimony, correct?
No, this testimony they won't see. What's going to happen is the judge at a certain point is going to say he's heard enough. He's going to have them bring the jury back in, and before he does that, he's going to give some guidelines to the attorneys. He's going to say, "This I'm going to let in this testimony, but not that testimony."
What?
This sort of thing, like an offer of proof.
So and I don't understand how this operates, but does that mean that it's disqualified from jury decisions?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it
Because
sounds
that's
like it.
is
It
it
sounds like
basically
the
just
judge
a
is gonna
hearing specifically for the judge to understand what the hell's going on?
maybe it sounds like then the judge will decide what part of that testimony can be given to the jury and what part can't. It seems like a
Right,
very,
because-
very complicated type of defense. To me, it seems like it's taking some of the decision power out of the jury's hands and putting it
Yeah.
into the judge's hands.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's really interesting. I
So-
don't know.
But who
hold
knows?
on.
Maybe he'll prove that he's a nutcase. So he'll be able to plead like not guilty.
Well, so
of
basically, what it
insanity.
sounds
I
to
don't
me
know.
like what they're really trying to do is avoid having to have multiple redactions during the hearing with the actual jury. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah, who knows?
Ultimately. Because they just be constantly standing there, just being like, "Please redact that, redact," and you just be like, "Oh, okay," and it's just this long, ongoing thing.
It occurs. It's often when there's maybe a few minutes of testimony. What's unusual here is it appears to have gone on for hours.
So-
from mine.
So when you said that they'll let in certain aspects of the testimony, that's the testimony he just gave, or he'll have to do it again?
He'll have to do it again.
Oh, he'll have to do it again.
The reality is, he's going to say presumably the same thing he already.
So this is just the
This is the
dress
test run.
rehearsal. This is the dress rehearsal. That's what this is.
All right.
All right, everybody, get your suits on, get your clothes on. Let's get ready. We're about to put on the play. It's gonna be great.
Right.
Just
Fix
do a
your
practice
hair.
run. Yeah, fix your hair, Sam. Fix your hair.
Right. His mother's there wetting
in
her
front of the
hand,
judge,
patting
or
his
else that
hair
would be
down.
very problematic
Yeah.
for him if he tries to sneak in something different in front of the jury.
Well, yesterday he was questioned by the defense and the prosecution. When he was questioned by his own lawyers, he came off as very crisp, very polished, very trained. But during cross-examination, he seemed caught off guard during questioning. What do you make of this? One would think that his lawyers would prepare him for both sides.
Well, it's very hard to prepare for testimony. It's a very challenging experience. Even no matter how smart and able you are, you can get rattled by cross-examination. And
Yeah, no kidding.
I think he's
Yeah.
really put himself into a difficult
It's like-
situation.
It's like literally like imagine having all of your lines ready, like all of your lines and everything that you're about to say, and then all of a sudden, where were you on this day? And you're like,
Right.
oh, I wasn't even thinking about it. And
So
just
what
like,
about this memo you signed?
Yeah, what happened
Yeah.
to this $100 million that you
I don't
put
see
into
your
ice
lawyer's name on there.
cream? Yeah, exactly.
SBF basically told the world everything on his mind regarding this case, even after FTX declared bankruptcy, even after he was under criminal investigation, even after he was indicted. He was talking to the New York Times. That's why he got his bond revoked. And so the prosecutors
That's
essentially
right.
have a collection of his greatest hits, and they can basically hem him in. And he's got to be very careful when he's trying to think on the fly and answer questions, not to contradict things he said before. With his own attorneys, they've got rehearsed questions and answers. That's pretty easy. But when you're trying to think on the fly about all the thousands of things you said before, I think that can be pretty challenging.
But to that effect, is there any defense he can make after this to say, well, his lawyers will say, look, this guy's an nincompoop, and he goes against everything we've asked him to. He keeps shooting himself in the foot. That doesn't necessarily mean he's guilty. We need to challenge this. Is that something that could happen? Is that a legitimate defense, or is he going to end up like everyone else who commits a crime in this country and has a tougher time getting an appeal?
So a couple things. So I do believe that the evidence against SBF is overwhelming. I expect him to be convicted of serious felony counts as a starting point. I will say that. That said, there are defenses here. I mean, the main issue is whether he had the intent to defraud. It's very possible to be someone who engaged in.
That is honestly the biggest thing, is that if he's guilty of, intentionally defrauding, or if he's intentional about fraudulent activity, that is what's going to seal the deal for him, and the nail's in the coffin at that point.
Yeah, but ignorance can't be a defense.
No.
So he still did it.
Yeah, he still did it, but I'm just saying, like, it's one thing to it's the difference
if he found
between
his sentencing, he'll get more years if they can prove that he
exactly
intentionally did this.
It's like involuntary manslaughter
by,
versus premeditated manslaughter.
Yes, correct.
So the involuntary manslaughter, you could have a much. I think it's most people still get a sentence, but they're not going to do 25 to life, necessarily. They could still, though, if they're like, being stupid about it. But anyways, this is like a long video. I just thought it was we'll see what happens, but it's still developing. I know that he threw his girlfriend under the bus, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, of course he was going to do that.
Yeah, at this point, he's just like pretty much become the black sheep of everyone, including those who are also on trial. He's just going against everybody. But yeah, so that's, my whole point with sharing this, kind of long-winded speech on the SBF stuff is that, Ripple has been doing so much better as far as on the opposite end of the spectrum goes for lawsuits and whatnot. They have been actually having the complete opposite effect, which is complete and utter success, which has been, I think, helping the crypto market in general. And I do think that it's going to actually cause Ripple to outperform BTC in, as far as one-to-one multi-X growth, so
there you have it, Crypto Cody. Ripples are going to outperform Bitcoin in 2024.
Oh boy, here we go. It doesn't mean that I love XRP more than BTC. It just means that I just think that Ripple has a much, much better use.
Well, I think it has a larger.
It has a larger case for
growth potential.
Yes.
Than Bitcoin.
Right. Exactly. And that because in the reality is this is like, it doesn't mean that it's going to surpass BTC's market cap. It just means that it's too small of a market cap right now compared to BTC. Like it really is. It's in the billions, but it's not anywhere near close to the trillion. And here's another question. Do you think that Ripple could hit a multi-trillion market cap?
Ripple itself?
Yeah, Ripple itself.
Oof. Well, let's see.
That would be an interesting thought because we've already seen that Ripple can surpass Ethereum's market cap. So can XRP be a multi-trillion dollar market cap, let alone a $1 trillion market cap?
Here's Bitcoin at 660.
Because I don't think XRP. Well, yeah, no
XRP
single
is
coin
at 30,
other than Bitcoin
30 millions. So 30 billion. So XRP is just like 4 or 5% of the total market cap of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So say if Bitcoin, everything rises the same,
Well, let's go back to our original conversation where BTC is hitting a $6 trillion market cap alone.
Okay. So
we were basing that off
trillion,
of the dominance. We were talking about BTC having 30% dominance in the market at a $21 trillion market cap. So now BTC is a $6 trillion market cap. That's a 6x. So what's a 6x from XRP? Or actually, even here's a more interesting question. XRP has actually surpassed Ethereum's market cap before in the past. If it does that again, now you have a 200 and let's say if it passed it today, that would be
So-
216 trillion.
So if everything rose
216 billion.
the same, everything rose 5x or whatever,
Yeah.
with Bitcoin being at $6 billion market cap, I mean 6 trillion, Ripple would be 300 billion.
Okay.
Is
So
it
it would
possible
only actually
Ripple
hit
could double
300
that and be
billion.
600 billion? Yeah. So who knows? I mean,
So not a trillion. It's not even close. There's not even a.
but you don't know what happens if it is. What happens if this market grows to 32 trillion
Oh my gosh, dude. Come on.
or 50 trillion?
Let's just add another 10 trillion to our.
Will XRP then be a $1 trillion coin itself? Probably. There'll probably be 10 coins out there that are worth $1 trillion or more.
Yeah.
You know, you look at it right now. You know, let's see. Here we are. So right now there are 47 cryptocurrencies out there that have $1 billion with a B market
Yep.
cap or
Yep.
more. 47.
Right.
Now I remember at the peak of the last bull market, it was like 100, over 100 that had $1 billion market cap or more.
Right. And that makes sense. And that's actually
I mean,
really encouraging to the market as a whole. You know?
Even number 100 SWI, which is one of my coins I like, you know, right now it's number 100 on market cap. It's almost $400 million market cap. So I could see this one going 10x all day long and being a $3 billion coin.
Yeah.
You know, I still am amazed that BitTorrent is still in the top 100.
I'm not amazed by that. I actually,
And it's still
'cause
trading. Look at the volume. It has like
Yeah.
$29 million of trading volume.
Well, dude, no, it's because it's a part of the TRX platform.
Yes,
And
that's true.
And here's the reality: the TRX platform has been outperforming Ethereum DApps.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the whole Tron platform, in and of itself, has been doing phenomenal in comparison to the Ethereum platform. TRC20 tokens and TRC20 or ERC20 tokens, those two, I mean, Tron's killing it, man. I think as far as use case goes, it's killing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
So I you know, it doesn't
9.4.
surprise me that BTT is, you know, doing well in the top 100.
23 cents. You know, it's just been a solid coin. It didn't go down as far as most altcoins, and it's just been solid.
Oh, it's solid, dude. And it's actually arguably it's got a lot of, I mean, you got to look, you know, at some point we can look at the charts for that one, but it's just that, you know, I would not be surprised if we see that thing go back up to 15 cents and stay pretty solid there for a while.
Yeah. I
And
just
then-
want to see what price predictions are for Tron. I mean, like we
Yeah.
bought Tron way back in 2017, you know, for less than a penny.
It was a quarter of a penny when we bought into it. Yeah.
I know.
I think we were holding
Yeah,
like 600,000 of it at one point,
I know. So
which is nuts. And then we
And then I
staked
got
that
out of it.
600,000 for a hot second. I mean, that was awesome.
all right, where am I? I'm trying to find breaking down by year. I'm just trying to find a price prediction for Tron.
Yeah.
It's not working.
I mean, I think that TRX has the ability to go up to, you know, 30 to 50 cents. You know,
so. This let's see. I'm trying to find the nice chart we always see. You know, it just gives you the
of course, I've been saying
high
that
low.
since 2017. So I will say this: one thing I love about TRX is that it actually it performs so well during the bear market. I mean, it basically behaved as a stable coin.
So this is what
which was
this
pretty
site
cool.
says. So by 2030, it says it's going to be 50 cents
Yeah,
of a high, but so it's going to push its all-time high. They're thinking this next bull market.
yeah,
You know,
I believe
23
that.
cents. So
I believe that it actually hit 30 cents on some exchanges.
really,
Oh yeah, there was an exchange that we. What was
imagine
that
you
exchange?
got that.
Liqui.
That's
We were
what
holding. We were.
arbitrage, right?
Do you remember Liqui? The exchange.
Yes, yeah. That's where we
Yeah.
originally. Yeah, that's where we.
That was where we were originally
bought Tron.
holding it, and it was
Yeah.
and it hit 30 cents on that exchange.
Huh.
we could have actually traded, like regardless of the arbitrage
Right.
trading, we could have actually traded.
Yeah, we could have sold it for 30 cents and bought it back
Yeah.
at its all-time high
Oh yeah,
for 23
That-
cents
that
and
was-
made a quick 25% gain.
yeah. Which
So that happened to me with I had Kyber Network, and I had it on Binance US, and I had some on Coinbase. Well, on Binance US, I looked and it went from like $1.50 to like $5 and something. So I sold mine. I'm like, whoo. And then I told my buddy, and he only had it on Coinbase. He's like, what are you talking about? It's only like $2. And on Coinbase, it was only $2. But for some
Right.
reason, something happened on the Binance site. The price went to 5. So I ended up selling. And of course, they found out and they stopped it. So I caught it just at the right time. I sold it and then I bought it all back on Coinbase.
Yeah.
So whoops.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh man. Oh,
But I
well,
pay taxes on it, on the gains.
That's right. Yeah. Pay your taxes, people. Make sure you
Yes,
do that.
you have to.
There's a lot of people that
Definitely.
don't pay their taxes. Yeah, I'm surprised by how many people who told me that. Actually, it's coming up here soon, folks. Tax season's coming.
Like, what do you mean? I just finished.
Tax season's coming. And by the way, a big mistake that I made is if you're just getting new to trading, understand the difference between long-term and short-term capital gains when trading. If you guys don't understand that, you might not want to be making so many trades all the time.
Right.
Because you're going to be taxed way harder on the short-term capital gains than you will on the long.
Yep.
So the long-term holders aren't going to be as punished.
But take it into consideration, depending what your plan. Have a plan and plan your trades and trade your plan.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I do both. Some coins like I'm holding for longer than a year. And then if you hold them for longer than a year, then it's long-term gains, which
Yeah.
is much lower.
Right. Exactly.
So
Oh man. Well, let me see. I think I might have one or two other things for us to go over, but then I think I gotta get heading out of here pretty
Yeah.
soon. Hold on one second. But yeah, a lot of crazy news coming out. That's for sure. Crazy,
there is.
crazy news. There's the SPF. We already did that. Oh yeah,
Just
Gemini. Gemini's getting sued.
Well,
Or, I'm
they've been
sorry,
in trouble.
Gemini is suing Genesis, the Ledger Genesis,
Oh, okay.
the former partner, over $1.6 billion worth of GPTC.
Really?
So, yeah. So that's interesting. There's just so many, like, I feel like this is what's happening right now is like there's a lot of, because of how many institutional investors are getting involved, this is just like kind of the storm of people suing each other, companies suing each other, people
Well, I
cracking
think
down on all this fraudulent activity.
It's still
been
the
going on.
fallout. It's still the fallout from the crypto going down. It's still the fallout from all that stuff that happened with started with Luna and then FTX. Well, there was also Voyager. It's just the continuation of all that fallout.
Right, exactly.
We're hearing out because that's what that stems from. They're getting sued from what happened back in 2022.
Yeah.
So because they should have planned too, because it seems like crypto markets history repeats itself. And what happened was they didn't prepare for the long bear market where
Right.
it just continually went down and down and down.
Right.
And they crushed them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Satoshi is still not found.
Headlines.
The search for Satoshi Nakamoto still continues.
So
It's,
is it just one person or is it a group?
I remember
I
talking.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah, I remember talking to our buddy Trevor, and he was convinced that it was actually artificial intelligence. I'm
Back
like,
in
that's a really
2008.
fascinating thought. Yeah,
That could
he's
be.
like,
But
he's like,
but
bro,
who-
it's artificial intelligence, bro. I'm
So
telling you.
someone had to program the initial set for the artificial intelligence to create, like they had to say, create the perfect currency. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, no kidding. Seriously,
Right. And it spits out Bitcoin.
it spits out Bitcoin.
Here's your code. You got to mine it.
Yeah. Well, we already know that artificial intelligence can tell you, all the different cases for can XRP outperform BTC or not. Can't
It
quite
never
give you
did
an
answer,
answer. It never
right?
did answer, but it can tell you. And maybe it did, and I just missed it. It
I
just
don't
gave
know.
all the cases,
I know. I was trying to read through that same article and I couldn't
behaving like
find.
Siri.
I-
I've always wanted clarity from Siri. I've been like, Siri, can you please tell me this? And she's like, I can. No, I
No.
can't tell you.
I know. It's like,
Sorry.
really, Siri?
Come
How
on,
good are you?
Siri. I thought you were my friend. I just want to know. Should I do this or should I not do this? Should I get my wife these flowers or these flowers? Looking up flowers. Stupid
what I
piece of
asked.
AI. That's not what I wanted. I wanted you to tell me what ones I was going to get. Sorry, can't answer that.
All right. I'm done with you, Siri.
Yeah, we broke up a long time ago. I don't use her anymore.
No more. All done with Siri.
Oh, all right, man. I think I'm
All right. I think we're-
I'm ready to call it.
Yeah.
but-
Same here.
Yeah, but if anybody who's been watching, if you could like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification, that would mean the world to us because we've got plenty of things to talk with you guys about. We're always bringing out videos, doing coin reviews, stupid, funny videos on Bitcoin Shorts if you're looking to be entertained. And
They are
we-
funny, let me tell you.
yeah, some of them are funny. Some of them people are like,
I'm
No,
laughing at them all the time.
somebody called me gay the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so
thanks.
you're a very happy, jolly person. Right?
Exactly. And that's what I thought.
That's another term
Yes.
definition of gay.
That
So that's
that was
where
a
I'm going.
traditional definition of it, of course. Yes.
Yes.
And yeah.
So- Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do this week, but I'm going to definitely put out a couple coin reviews. I haven't figured out which ones yet. So
yeah, I
that'll
think
be
I might
coming
do
out
one.
this week.
I definitely am gonna put out one on XRP this week. I'd like to talk a little bit about that, and since that was kind of the premise of this entire podcast, if you will. I mean, well, we talked about a lot of things, but yeah. I am curious to kind of dive into that with everybody and talk about that. So we'll do XRP this week. Yeah, and we'll see some different. Do you guys want us to talk more about low, mid, or high market cap coins? Because there's so many different ones. And by the way, when I say high market cap, or I'm sorry, low market cap, I'm thinking within, let's try to keep it within the top 200 probably. So like closer to the 200 mark.
So I'll probably do one on gaming, some type of gaming token.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Decentraland or Sandbox or Gala or something like that.
Exactly. That'd be sweet. I mean, there's definitely some sweet ones that are even beyond the 200 market cap marks.
And then there's another coin I've held for a long time. I got to do another dive into it and see if it's still worthy. It's a low market cap coin. So it has to deal with cellular data.
Ooh, interesting.
So we'll see.
That's right up your alley.
Used to be maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to just let you know. Let me see. I just want to see what. Yeah, so it's all right. So it's it's in the mid 300 market cap. So anyway, I'll try to get those out this week and for everybody's enjoyment.
Awesome. And we'll do another live at some point this week, sometime in the evening. Sorry we missed Saturday. This just with the shooter and everything that happened here in Lewiston, Maine, it just wasn't really a good time for me. So, but appreciate everybody. And again, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification.